sense organs. Okay, so see the screen. We know that the organs or part which are specifically built to detect particular type of stimuli are called sense organs or receptors. Okay, so your sense organs are called receptors. Main receptors in men are eyes, ears, nose, taste buds, receptors of touch, heat and cold, etc. But in your book, we will discuss only about eye and ear. Okay, so come to next page. Come to next page. Okay, Betty. Today we will discuss about the structure of an eye. Look at your book. Okay. First of all, we will discuss about the structure of an eye. I will explain you with the help of a diagram. If you see this diagram in your book, first I will tell you the location of your eye. Okay, so our ears are located in a small portions of skull known as the orbits of eye sockets. So our eye is located in the portions of skull known as the orbits of eye socket. Okay, so these are called the orbits of eye. Okay, so where they are located, this is the location of your eye. Now we will discuss about the uh, structure of eye. Structure of eye consists of two main parts: external structure of an eye and internal structure of an eye. First, I will tell you external structure of eye. External structure of eye consists of eyelids and eyelashes. It consists of eyelids and eyelashes. So, what are eyelids? Look at your book. You can also see. This is the location of an eye in a small portion of skull known as the orbits of eye sockets. Okay, so external structure of eye. External structure of eye consists of eyelids and eyelashes. Eyelids and eyelashes. So eyelids, what are eyelids? Eyelids. Function of eyelids is there to wipe eyes and prevent dehydration. Eyelids help the eyes to wipe, to clean them and prevent dehydration, shortage of water. Okay, so they help to clean the eyes. They spread tears on eyes which contains substances of fighting bacterial infection. So tears play very important role in the eye. They actually clear the bacterial infections of our eye. And the second part of external eye is eyelashes, which we can see prevent fine particles from entering eye. So what is the function of eyelashes? Actually they stop the dust particles to enter into our eye. So the structure of eye can be divided into three main layers. So from here, the internal structure of an eye has been started. Okay, external structure consists of two parts: eyelids and eyelashes. Okay, now here the internal structure of an eye has been started. Internal structure of eye consists of mainly three layers, and these three layers are: first is called outer layer, then there is middle layer, and then there is a inner layer. So first, now we will discuss about the outer layer. Outer layer consists of two parts, that is sclera and cornea. Sclera and cornea. The outer layer consists of two parts, sclera and cornea. So what is the function of sclera? Sclera gives eye most of its white color. You can see if we see our eye, in the center there is a pupil, there is a circle, and around them there is a white part. So the white part of an eye is called sclera. It consists of dense connective tissue and protects the inner components of eye and maintains its shape. So its important function is that it is a dense connective tissue which protect the inner components of eye and maintains its shape. In the front, sclera forms the transparent cornea. We also see in the center of the eye there is a cornea, that is a very shiny part. So cornea admits light to the interior of eye and bends light rays so that they can be brought to a focus. So cornea is the part of an eye which controls the intensity of light, which is coming from our surrounding. It controls the intensity of light and bends the light rays inside our eye so we can be focused on the object. Now we will see the diagram. You can see because we are talking about the outer layer of the eye. So it has a sclera. It is a white part of an eye, and we are talking about the cornea. You can see this is the part of cornea. This is the white part. This is the white part. This is sclera, and in the center there is a cornea. And its important role is that to control the intensity of light and bends the light, because when light enters from when it passes through the lens, so it controls the intensity of light, that how much light can enter into our eye. Now we will discuss the middle layer of an eye. So middle layer of an eye consists of iris, pupil, lens, ciliary muscles, and suspensory ligaments. It has four parts: iris, pupil, lens, ciliary muscles, and suspensory ligaments. Now we will see in our book the middle layer. Okay, the middle layer is called choroid. It is also called choroid. It is very important MCQs according to board exam. The middle layer of eye is also called. It is also called choroid. It contains blood vessels and gives the inner eye a dark color. The dark color prevents disruptive reflections within eye. Disruptive reflections means unnecessary reflections which are not necessary, which it means it clear the reflection. Okay, so it clear the reflection which we can see by our eye. Within eye, behind cornea, choroid bends to form muscular ring called iris. You can also see in the diagram. This is a structure of an eye given in your book. Okay, so you can see it is a cornea. Okay, and around them there is a circular muscle. You can also see around them, that is called iris. So what is the role of iris? There is round hole called pupil in the center of iris. So around the iris in the center you can see there is a hole that is called a pupil. Okay, and after when the rays enters into the eye, after striking the cornea, light passes through the pupil. The size of pupil is adjusted by the muscles of iris. So pupil constricts in bright light when the circular muscles of iris contract. Similarly, pupil dilates in dim light when the radial muscles of iris contract. So it performs two function iris. When when there is much light enters into the iris, what is happen? The muscles of iris are constricted, contract. They began to contract, and because of that they control the intensity of light which is entering into the pupil. And when there is a dim light, you can see the circular muscle, the muscles of iris began to dilate, began to relax. So the more light should be enter into our eyes. This is a common example. When there is a much light, we cannot see, we can't open our eyes properly. Okay, so why we can't open our eyes properly? Because at that time the muscles of iris began to contract, because they are adjusting the intensity of light, that how much light can enter into our eye. But when there is a dim light, we all of know, the for example, if you are sitting in a room, if sudden light is off, after some time you are able to see things in the dark. How are you able? Because of the iris muscle, because at that time they began to relax. Why they began to relax? That there is dim light, so much light should be entered into our iris. So the role of iris is very important. So they control the intensity of light. When there is a much light, they are constricted, and when there is a dim light, they are relaxed. Okay, come to next page. Come to next page. Okay, behind iris. Behind iris, there is a convex lens. We also have discussed, you also know about in the physics that we have two types of lenses in our eyes, convex and concave. Okay, convex lens help us to see things which are near to us, and concave lens helps to see things which are far away from us. So behind the iris, there is a convex lens which focuses light on retina. So lens is attached to ciliary muscles of eye via a ring of suspensory ligament. So what is the role of lens? Lens is attached with ciliary muscles of eye via a ring of suspensory ligaments. To clearly see an object after away, ciliary muscles are relaxed and lens become less convex. When ciliary muscles contract, lens becomes more convex and drawn. So this is the function of eye. Okay, when we want to see the object which is very far away from us, at that time our ciliary muscles are relaxed and lens become less convex. When we want to see things which are near to us, at that time ciliary muscles contract and lens become more convex and round. So these are the four parts of your middle eye in which we have discussed about the iris, the structure of the iris and the function of the iris. Then we have discussed about the pupil, the size of the pupil. It is adjusted by the muscles of iris. And we discuss lens. Okay, lens is very important. And the fourth part is ciliary muscles and suspensory ligaments. So ciliary muscles, when they are contracted, then convex lens then lens become less convex. And when there is a when we want to see things which are near to us, the ciliary muscles relax and the convex lens and the lens become more convex and round. Okay, now we will discuss the inner layer. The inner layer of an eye consists of retina, rods, cones, points on retina, and optic disc, uh, chambers, interior chambers, aqueous humor, and posterior chamber. And these are very important part of the structure of an eye. So the inner layer is sensory and is called as retina. The inner layer of an eye is sensory. Okay, it get the messages and is called as retina. It contains the photosensitive cells. It contains the photosensitive. Photo means light and sensitive means delicate. So photosensitive cells which are responsible to adjustment of light. Okay, so it contains the photosensitive cells called rods and cones. So these photosensitive cells are called rods and cones, and associated neurons. Neurons we discussed in previous lecture. They arises from the spinal cord and get message to the receptor and take back message from receptor to the brain or spinal cord. So rods are sensitive to dim light. So rods and cones, these both photosensitive cells are present behind the eye. So rods are sensitive to dim light. In dim light, they began to work, while cones are sensitive to bright light, and cones work at that time when there is a bright light, and so distinguish different colors, and so they separate the different colors. So retina has 2 points, fovea and optic disc. So retina, I have told you the inner part of the eye is called retina. It has 2 points. These 2 points are called fovea and optic disc. So what is fovea? Fovea is a dip in retina directly opposite to lens and is densely packed with cone cells. It is largely responsible for color vision and sharpness. We all of know we can distinguish between different colors and their sharpness. It is all possible due to the point which is present behind the retina, fovea. So fovea is responsible for color vision. we can separate the we can differentiate between the different colors and sharpness, okay, how much it is dark and how much it is light. And there is another point behind the retina which is called optic disc. It is a point on retina where the optic nerve enters to retina. Optic nerve, if you keep in your mind the structure of an eye, at the end of an eye, there are some nerves which are called optic nerves. So these optic nerves are arises from retina and enter to the brain. So there are no rods and cones at this point. That is why it is also referred to as the blind spot. In inner layer, we have discussed about the rods and cones. Okay, first, retina consists of photosensitive cells, rods and cones. Rods are responsible in dim light and cones are responsible in sharp light, in bright light. And behind these retina, two important points, there are two important fovea and optic disc. Fovea consists of rods and cones. Okay, it can differentiate among the different colors and their sharpness. But optic disc, it is also called, the another name of optic disc is a blind spot, because the optic nerves are arises from it, which enters into the brain, and brain give message to the receptor, and receptor take back message to the brain. So at that point there are no rods and cones at this point. So that's why it is also referred as a blind spot. Okay. After that, points of retina, optic disc, there is a chambers. So the iris divided the cavity of eye into two chambers, the anterior chamber and the posterior chamber. The anterior chamber is in front of iris between cornea and iris, whereas the posterior chamber is between iris and retina. Okay. uh, Anterior chamber between cornea and iris, posterior between retina and iris. The anterior chamber contains a clear fluid known as aqueous humor, while the posterior chamber contains a jelly-like fluid known as vitreous humor. It helps maintain the shape of an eye and suspends the delicate lens. So their role is very important. The role of chambers, what is that they maintain the shape of eye and suspends the delicate lens, and the delicate lens which are working inside the eye, they control them, they coordinate them. After that, after the chambers, um, uh, uh, we will discuss about the vitreous humor. What is happened, light from objects enters the eye and is refracted when it passes through cornea, aqueous humor, lens and vitreous humor. Lens focuses light on retina. It is a mechanism of your eye, okay, how light work in your eye. From here, the mechanism of eye is started. Light from object enters the eye. First, we see the object. How we see the object? When light falls on the object, and then refract them and refract it back into our eye. When it passes through cornea, first it passes through cornea, the outer part of an eye, then goes to aqueous humor, lens, and vitreous humor. So lens also focuses light on retina. As a result, the image falls on retina. Rods and cones generate nerve impulses. So we keep in your mind nervous coordination, that rods and cones generate nerve impulses, the optic nerve. These impulses are carried to the brain. I have told you they goes to the brain, which makes this the sensation of vision. Rod contains a pigment called rhodopsin. When light falls on rhodopsin, it breaks for generating a nerve impulse. In the absence of light, the breakdown products are again converted into rhodopsin. So rods plays very important. They contain a pigment chemical which is called rhodopsin. So when light falls on the rhodopsin, it breaks the nerve impulse. So at that time, body synthesizes rhodopsin from vitamin A, and that is why the deficiency of vitamin A causes poor night vision. This is very important. This is also comes into a short question. Okay, what is a night blindness? It is a disease, night blind. How it is formed? I have told you. Okay, we have photosensitive cells inside our eye, which are rods and cones. So rods are responsible to see in the dim light, and rods contain a pigment chemical which is called rhodopsin. So when light falls on the rhodopsin and it breaks for generating nerve inside, but in the absence of light, if they never work, if they don't perform their function, and body synthesize rhodopsin from vitamin A. So how rhodopsin work? They work with the help of vitamin A, and vitamin A which is present in carrots, which is present in different foods. So it is necessary for our body. So the lack of vitamin A in the body can cause of poor night vision. It means the people at night time, they cannot see things properly. So this problem is called night blindness. Cones contain a pigment known as iodopsin. You also know about it. Rods contains a rhodopsin, and cones contain an chemical which is called iodopsin. There are three main types of cones, and each type has a specific iodopsin. Each type of cone recognize one of the three primary colors: blue, green, and red. We all of know there are three primary colors: blue, green, and red. So, iodopsin. There are three types of iodopsin which can differentiate between three primary colors: blue, green, and red. If any type of cones is not working well, it becomes difficult to recognize that color. So such person is also not able to distinguish different colors. This disease is called color blindness, and it is a genetic problem. So you also have listened the people color blindness which cannot differentiate among these three primary colors: blue, green, and red. So who is responsible? Cones are responsible, because cones consist of a pigment which is called iodopsin, and each color have different iodopsin. Blue has different, green has different, and red is different. And among them, if any one of one type of iodopsin don't work properly inside the body of a person, because of that a person can caught by a color blindness, and it is a genetic problem. Come to next page. It is a genetic problem. Now we will discuss about the disorders of eye. Come to next page. Now we will discuss about the disorders of an eye. There is a diagram given. If for a pilot, color vision is essential so that she can recognize aircraft position lights. So for a pilot, this is very important. It should not, he and she should not be color blindness, be caught by coloring, because color vision is essential for that. You can see in the diagram, it's a diagram of a runway lights. So it can distinguish where is yellow light, where is blue light, and where is a red light. Okay, so a position light gun signals, airport beacon, approach slope indicators, and chart symbol, especially at night. A pilot must have the ability to perceive these colors necessary for the safe performance of his and her duties. Now we will discuss the disorders of the eye. The working of eye is affected by the changes in the shape of eyeball. So disorder of eye can be cause of if there is change in the shape of eyeball. So there are two type of disorder. First is called myopia, means short sight, and second is called hypermetropia, means long sight. So what is the difference between two? Myopia, the elongation of eyeball results in myopia. Such persons are not able to see distant objects clearly. The objects which are far away to them, they cannot see them properly. The image of a distant object is formed in front of a retina. In a structure of an eye, we had discussed that when we see the object and when light passes through the retina, the object form behind the retina. But if a person is caught by myopia, it means it cannot see the things which are very far away. So when light passes through them, the object is formed in front of retina. This problem can be rectified by using a concave lens. So such a person use concave lenses in their glasses. There is another disorder, hypermetropia, that is called a long sight. The persons who cannot see the things which are near to them. It happens when eyeball shortens, in which what was happened, elongation of eyeball. Okay, when eyeballs are elongated, here is that when eyeballs are shortened. You can also see in the diagram, this is a myopia, and you can see okay, here is a lens and it is elongation, and this is a hypermetropia in which the lens is contracted, shortened, change into a shortened form. You can see there is a size of eyeball is different in between two. So such persons are not able to see near objects, okay, clearly. The image is formed behind retina. So convex lens is used to rectify this problem. For hypermetropia, a convex lens is used. For myopia, a concave lens is used. Okay, now disorders of now your this is some these are the disorders of an eye, and now we will discuss the previous page. One example is left in previous page. Yes. Okay, bete, look at this example is given in the previous page, which was left. In a human eye, there are about 12.5 million rods and 0.7 million cones. So you have to underline for your MCQs. In a human eye, there are about 12.5 million rods and 0.7 million cones. Have you seen the eyes of cat and dog shining in the night? The reason for this is the presence of tapetum behind the eye, which is a layer capable of reflecting light. So this is also important for your MCQs. How is it happen? Because the eyes of cat and dog shining in the night, its reason is the presence of tapetum behind the eye, which is a layer capable of reflecting light. Okay. Now here is another example. I want to discuss with you. Okay, too much light too much light being let in cloud damage the retina. So too little light makes sight difficult. So the more intensity of light and the less intensity of light both are not good for a person. So you should have to maintain the intensity of light. Okay, come to the previous page. There is another example which was left. I would like to discuss with you. Okay, I hope you understand the now. Today we have discussed the structure of an eye. I am repeating the summary of your lecture of today. We have discussed the structure of an eye, and in structure of eye, we have discussed about the uh, it consists of two layers: external structure of an eye and internal structure of an eye. In external structure, we have discussed about the eyelashes and eyelids. I will explain you with the help of a diagram. Uh, okay, you can see the diagram. Okay, I have told you. You can see the diagram. External structure consists of sclera and cornea. Okay, so the white part is called sclera and the front part is called cornea. And the middle layer consists of four parts: pupil, uh, pupil, ciliary muscles, and lens. And this is a lens. This is called the middle layer: lens, pupil, iris, the muscles which are attached with the lenses, and ciliary muscles. Or I have told the function that first light will passes through the iris. The muscles will be contract in sharp light, and they will be relaxed into dim light. Okay, and when light passes through the pupil, then lens began to work. Behind the lens there is a structure which is, there is a inner layer has been started, and middle layer also called choroid layer of the eye. Okay, and it's this part is called retina. The image is formed. If the image is formed behind the retina, then that is a correct object. If the object is formed in front of the retina, then that is a wrong. That is then cause of short sightedness, myopia. Okay, behind the lens there are 2 points which is called fovea. Fovea consists of rods and cones, and from here you can see optic nerves are arising which are directly attached to the brain, and this is called a blind spot. I have told you because fovea, and this is also called optic disc. There is no rods and no cones. Rods and cones are photosensitive cells. Rods are responsible in dim light and cones are responsible in sharp light. And you also have seen in ciliary muscles, and this is the inner layer. The retina is the inner layer of the uh, eye, and it also consists of aqueous humor. It is also consists of vitreous humor, and it also consists of different chambers, interior chambers and posterior chambers, in which we have discussed. If there is any change among them, it can cause of night blindness and color blindness, and due to deficiency of vitamin A, night blindness can be happen. And if there is if cones cannot distinguish between primary colors blue, green, and red, so because of that it can cause of color blindness. So then we have discussed about the disorders of an eye. The disorders of an eye can cause of uh, disorders of an eye can cause of myopia and hypermetropia. Myopia is short-sightedness, means if a person cannot see the objects which are very far away, and hypermetropia means the objects which are near to them, if a person cannot see them clearly. So because of that, for short-sightedness we use the concave lens, and for the long-sightedness we use the convex lens. I hope you understand the structure of an eye. In next lecture, we will discuss about the structure of ear, which is another human receptor. And after that, we will start the endocrine system chemical coordination. I hope you understand it. Now your class has been ended. Thank you so much. If you have any question, raise your hand.